North Korea just took us away from the brink of war. You heard that right. North Korea. So their man-child dictator, Kim Jong-un, in the end, acted more mature than us. So this is from CNN. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un appears to have backed away from a threat to fire missiles towards the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam, opting instead to wait and see what the foolish Yankees do next. State media KCNA said Kim had reviewed a previously announced plan to fire 4 missiles on a trajectory over western Japan, but had decided not to go ahead with the proposal for now. The comments came after U.S. Secretary of Defense James Mattis warned that if North Korea fired on U.S. territory, it would be, quote, game on. Speaking at the Pentagon Monday, Mattis told reporters, "You don't shoot at people in this world unless you want to bear the consequences." The KCNA report Tuesday said Kim had examined the strike plan for a long time and discussed it with the commanding officers in real earnest. The statement then appears to put the onus to act on Trump, saying Kim would watch a little more the foolish and stupid conduct of the Yankees. Okay. So, think about the way everything unfolded, man. We were escalating at 1,000 miles an hour, and we were right there on the brink. And then it was Kim Jong-un who was like, "Yeah, no, we good, right? We good?" So Trump had repeatedly prodded and poked North Korea on Twitter and floated the idea of regime change and floated the idea of a military option and said it over and over and over. And every time it was tit for tat. It would, they would do a missile test here and a missile test there and say, "Oh, we have long range capabilities now and we have this and we have that." And every time the U.S. responded by upping the ante. And we finally got to the point where they were like, okay, now we're going to launch a missile test. We're going to have it fly over Japan. And then it's going to land like 20 miles outside of Guam. So like still in international waters, but super close to Guam, which is a U.S. territory. And then we covered the story the other day where Trump and the U.S. was like, okay, but if they do that test, we're going to shoot them suckers right out of the fucking air. And it's game on. So you have actual, an actual military conflict where you come head to head, even though it's a test and then you shoot the test out of the air and all that stuff. But we were spiraling out of control at 1,000 miles an hour. And it wasn't President Trump who was like, okay, you know what? Let's chill. Let's chill a little bit. It was Kim Jong-un who was like, let's not do that test. Okay, but what does this show you? It shows what we've been saying all along. So is he a lunatic authoritarian dictator who's horrific to his own people in his country? Yes. North Korea is a hostage crisis. That's what it is. But is Kim Jong-un a threat to anybody but his people? No. Not even close. He's a gnat on the world stage. He has a military budget of about 37 cents, and they can't hold a candle to the world's most powerful military ever. The United States has the most powerful military in human history by far and away. You think this guy who can't even get an electric grid right, can't even feed his own people, is somehow going to be able to beat us, and he thinks he can beat us? No, he's not going to fucking do that. He's not going to do that. And then furthermore, you have to understand he has no incentive to give up his weapons. So this idea that we're like, you got to give up your weapons and then everything will be okay. Why the fuck would he believe us? Gaddafi gave up his weapons and then we bombed Gaddafi and toppled him. So he sees what happened. He knows, hey, if I give up my weapons, boom, then you come and invade and topple me. So he wants the weapons as a deterrent. So he's not a direct threat to us. I feel horrible for his people, but there's nothing we could do about it. Any kind of military option you do, he immediately launches on Seoul, South Korea. So you're threatening the lives of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people if you try to do a military intervention. So you know what you do? You do nothing. You do nothing. The situation is already contained. It's already stabilized. Again, feel horrible for his people. They're being oppressed 100%. But there's nothing we can do about it. And the way that we limit more damage is to not do anything militarily. Leave him the fuck alone. He's not going to do shit. And you have further evidence now that he's a rational actor in international affairs. Again, it's different domestic for his own people. He's as bad as it gets. But international affairs, he just showed you. When it really, he talks all this shit, and then when it really comes down to it, all right, dog, you want to fight? Let's do it. You're going to do that missile test over Japan and hit near Guam? Go ahead. He's like, yeah, see, what had happened was I wasn't even really sure if me and Craig and them were at the spot down by the Winco, and so there's no way, man. There's no way that he would do an offensive attack. And remember this, the next time somebody on TV tries to claim, oh my God, he's going to nuke Topeka. Remember this. That when all the fucking joying came to real shit, okay, you ready to do this? He's, yeah, nah, I'm going to wait, bro. I'm just going to wait a little bit. I'm going to chill out over here. Don't even worry about me at all, bro. Because that shows you all the talk of, oh my God, he's really going to attack us. Oh my God, look out. Oh, this is terrible. This is so wrong, so bad. The only way he would ever do any kind of attack against South Korea or us is if he's 100% sure we're going to attack him. That's the only way. Because he knows the real situation. So all the idiots on Fox who have been going off talking about, we need to nuke them. We covered 2 stories. 2 stories in the past week. And all Trump does is watch fucking Fox News. 2 stories in the last week where they're like, yeah, we should nuke him. We should nuke him because he's crazy. Whereas you, on the other hand, are totally not crazy, even though you just casually floated the idea of killing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in a split second. So, Trump went on Twitter after this and was like, congratulating Kim Jong-un or something. He's like, oh yeah, good decision, smart decision over there, tremendous, believe me. Oh... We have a little boy in charge of our nuclear arsenal, and he's waiting, man. He can't remember. People forget about that story that when Trump dropped the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan gratuitously. Just random, one of the biggest bomb we have that's not a nuke. He just randomly one day, yeah, drop it over there. We got like 8 people with it. He's like, yeah, I don't just drop it, whatever. So this is the guy, the boy, who's in charge of our nuclear weapons too. So he's just waiting. He's looking for an excuse. And I think Kim Jong-un knows that. He's like, yeah, did I say I was going to do that test? New phone, who dis?